Hello NCAC sports fans and welcome back to another episode of The Rundown. On this week's show we'll highlight two outstanding performances on the soccer pitch, an overtime game winner for Denison field hockey, and a pair of solid performances on the gridiron. Let's kick off this week's show with one of the top efforts displayed by an NCAC women's soccer goalie this season as Hiram sophomore Allie Green stepped up to the challenge and made 14 saves in the Terriers' 1-0 home win over Oberlin on Saturday night. Green, who hails from Stowe, Ohio, corralled 6 saves in the first half, but made her presence felt in the final 20 minutes of action as she denied both of these breakaway opportunities by the Yo women to preserve the 1-0 shutout win for the Terriers. NCAC women's soccer teams return to action this week with 8 league games on the slate, highlighted by Denison traveling to Oberlin on Tuesday and Hiram hosting Kenyon on Saturday. In men's soccer action, the Wittenberg Tigers have strung together 3 straight wins for the first time since 2014 and are right in the hunt in the top 4 of the NCAC men's soccer standings. In their only action last week, the Tigers and the Worcester Fighting Scots appeared headed to overtime after 89 minutes of scoreless action. However, the Tigers forced a late turnover on this throw-in the 90th minute and raced down to their end of the field where freshman Jacob Snowden was in the right place at the right time as he collected this loose ball in front of the net and fired it in for the game-winning goal. And NCAC men's soccer teams return to the field this week with 10 matches on the schedule, led by DePaul hosting Ohio Wesleyan on Wednesday and Denison traveling to Wittenberg on Saturday. Let's now shift our attention to NCAC field hockey, where Denison extended its winning streak to 7 straight last week and is now just a half game back in the NCAC standings after collecting a pair of league wins over Kenyon and DePaul. In the Big Reds' 2-1 win over arch-rival Kenyon on Tuesday, the two squads found themselves in a defensive struggle over the first 70 minutes of action, sending the match into overtime knotted up at 1 apiece. After another 10 minutes of scoreless action in the extra session, Denison senior Kirsten Audette drove right on this restart, beat her defender, and slipped a shot between the Kenyon goalie to give the Big Red the 2-1 victory in Gambier. There is another full slate of NCAC field hockey action this week, led by Worcester hosting Wittenberg on Saturday and DePaul traveling to Kenyon on Sunday. And finally, we close out this week's show on the gridiron by showcasing a dramatic come-from-behind win for Ohio Wesleyan and another dominating performance on the ground by the Wabash Little Giants. First, we head down to Gambier, Ohio, where OU trailed Kenyon 21-17 late in the 4th quarter. But after a key 4th down stop by senior Ben Rubel and freshman Cordarius Melton on OU's own 15-yard line, senior quarterback Brian Barry orchestrated an 11-play, 85-yard drive that culminated in this juggling catch in the end zone by Hunter Baker for the eventual game-winning score. And in Crawfordsville on Saturday, the Little Giants eclipsed the 250-yard rushing mark as a team for the 4th time already this season in a 28-7 home win over Denison. Leading the charge on the ground for the Little Giants was once again sophomore Ike James with 22 carries for 158 yards and 3 touchdowns. He scored the first touchdown of the game midway through the first quarter on this 4-yard plunge, and all but sealed the victory late in the 3rd on this 29-yard run to put Wabash up 21-7. James also added this 67-yard scamper late in the 4th quarter that set up the 4th and final score of the day for the Little Giants. NCAC football squads continue play this Saturday with 5 games on the slate, and that's highlighted by Denison, hosting DePaul in Granville for a 1 p.m. kickoff. And as always, NCAC sports fans, for up-to-date news, stats, and standings from around the North Coast Athletic Conference, you can visit our website at www.northcoast.org. Also be sure to follow us on Twitter at NCAC, as well as like us on Facebook. Well, that puts a wrap on this week's show, but be sure to join us again next time for another edition of The Rundown.